Okay, this one is called How to Use CVD Like a Professional. Most traders do not lose money with CVD because the indicator is bad. They lose money because they ask it the wrong question. They see CVD rising and think buyers are in control. They see CVD falling and think sellers are in control. But that is not the professional question. The real question is that aggression creating acceptance, or is it getting trapped? That one shift can completely change how you trade NQ and ES. Because aggressive buying into VAH, a prior high, or a composite LVN is not automatically bullish. If price cannot hold above that level, those buyers may be trapped. And aggressive selling into VAL, a prior low, or a structural support area is not automatically bearish. If price cannot accept lower, those sellers may be trapped. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to use CVD with market structure, not as a signal, not as a prediction tool, but as a way to answer one execution question. Is participant aggression confirming the auction or failing at the exact location where failure matters? By the end, you should have a practical sequence for reading CVD at VAH, VAL, prior highs, prior lows, VWAP, POC, LVNs, and failed auction areas. And more importantly, you should know when not to trust it. Why CVD gets traders trapped. CVD stands for cumulative volume delta. It tracks the running difference between aggressive buying and aggressive selling. When traders lift the offer, that adds positive delta. When traders hit the bid, that adds negative delta. So yes, rising CVD means aggressive buyers are active, and a falling CVD means aggressive sellers are active. But here is the mistake. Aggression is not the same thing as control. Control is not proven by the delta line. Control is proven by price acceptance or rejection. Remember, markets are auctions, and price rotates around value until value migrates. Extremes tests whether the market can accept higher or lower prices. So the question is not, is CVD rising? Now the better question is, where is CVD rising? Because CVD rising in the middle of value may mean very little, and CVD rising into VAH, a prior high, or a failed auction area means something completely different. That is where traders either find continuation or get trapped buying the high. Here's the outcome you want from trading CVD. Now the goal is not to use CVD to predict the next move. The goal is to use CVD to make better informed decisions at structural locations. Specifically, CVD should help you answer 4 questions. First, is aggression confirming acceptance? Second, is aggression failing to create acceptance? Third, is divergence showing exhaustion at a meaningful extreme? Fourth, are aggressive traders getting trapped? If CVD cannot answer one of those questions, it probably does not belong in your trade decision. That is the trading on the edge view. Structure comes first, CVD comes second, execution comes last. Most struggling traders reverse that sequence. They see CVD move, enter the trade, then go looking for structure afterward. That is how a tool becomes a trap. Here's the correct sequence. Here's the sequence I want you to use. Before you look at CVD, define the auction first. Is the market balanced or imbalanced? Are we inside value or outside value? Is value migrating higher, migrating lower, or staying unchanged? Are we trading above VWAP, below VWAP, or rotating around it? Then mark out the levels where participant behavior actually matters. The prior session high, prior session low, VAH, VAL, POC, and VWAP. Initial balance high and low, composite HVNs and LVNs, unfinished auctions, obvious liquidity pools, and only after that should you look at CVD. Because CVD is only useful when price is interacting with the location where the auction has to make a decision. Continuation or failure, acceptance or rejection, absorption or expansion, trap or follow through. That is where CVD becomes valuable, not in the middle of nowhere. Okay, here's an example. Rising CVD at VAH. Let's say NQ opens inside the prior day's value area. Early in the session, price rotates higher toward VAH. As price approaches VAH, CVD starts rising. Aggressive buyers are clearly stepping in. A retail trader may look at that and say, CVD is strong, buyers are in control, I should get long. But that is incomplete. The trading on the edge question is, are buyers creating acceptance above VAH? That means we want to see the price push above value, hold above value, and prevent rotation back inside the prior value area. If price breaks above VAH, retests it, holds, and CVD continues to support the move, then the auction may be accepting higher prices. Now there may be a long opportunity. The entry should come on the retest. The invalidation could be a failed hold back inside value. Targets could be the overnight high, prior session high, an LVN, or another logical auction magnet. That is a trade plan. But if price pushes above VAH, CVD rises, and then price falls back inside value, the read changes. Now the aggressive buyers do not create acceptance. They may be trapped. And if trapped longs start exiting, the target may shift back towards VWAP, POC, or the opposite side of value. The same CVD strength, completely different trade. The difference is acceptance. Now, CVD strength at resistance is only bullish if price accepts higher. Without acceptance, that same strength can become trapped buying. That is why CVD should not be used as a directional signal. It should be used as evidence. And evidence only matters when it is connected to structure. So comment structure below if you have ever been trapped by using CVD by itself. That is one of the most common mistakes series future traders make. The indicator shows buying, you get long. Then price fails at VAH. Price rotates back into value, and suddenly that buying was not confirmation. It was fuel for the reversal. Comment structure if you want to stop reading CVD in isolation and start reading it through the auction. Okay, so CVD confirmation versus CVD prediction. There is a major difference when using CVD for prediction and using it for confirmation. Prediction sounds like this. CVD is rising, so price should go up. Confirmation sounds like price is testing above VAH. If buyers are truly in control, I want to see positive delta support acceptance above value, followed by a hold above the edge. That difference matters. Prediction makes you early. Confirmation makes you selective. Prediction makes you chase, and confirmation makes you wait for the auction to prove something. Professional traders are not trying to be right early. They are trying to participate when the market gives them structure, confirmation, invalidation, and a logical target. The market does not pay you for guessing direction. It pays you for finding locations where risk is controlled and the target is worth the risk. CVD only helps when it supports that process. Okay, so here are 4 ways to use CVD with structure. 1. CVD confirms acceptance. The first useful behavior is when CVD confirms acceptance. An example would be when NQ breaks above the prior value high, CVD rises with the move, then price pulls back and holds above VAH. Buyers remain active. Sellers cannot rotate price back into value. That is acceptance. In this case, CVD is not the reason to get long. The reason is the structural shift. CVD simply confirms that aggressive buyers are supporting the move. Now the trader can build a real plan. Entry may come on the retest. Invalidation may be back inside value. Targets may be the overnight high, prior session high, an LVN, or a composite high volume node. That is the proper use of CVD. It supports a structural trade. It does not create the trade by itself. 2. CVD fails to confirm a breakout. The second behavior is when price breaks a level, but CVD does not confirm. For example, NQ breaks above a prior high, but CVD is flat or weak. That does not automatically mean short. It means caution. A breakout without meaningful aggressive participation may be vulnerable, but you still need price confirmation. Can price hold above the breakout level? If yes, passive buyers may be supporting the move, and the breakout may still be valid. If no, and price quickly rotates back through prior high, now the failed breakout becomes important. Why? Well, because breakout buyers may be trapped there. Their invalidation is now obvious. If price starts moving against them, their exits can now become fuel for a move back toward VWAP, POC, or prior value. Again, CVD is not a signal, it is context. The trade comes from structure and failure. 3. CVD diverges at a meaningful extreme. The third behavior is divergence. A bullish divergence happens when price makes a lower low, but CVD does not make a lower low. A bearish divergence happens when price makes a higher high, but CVD does not make a higher high. Many trades treat divergence as an automatic reversal signal. That is very dangerous. A divergence in the middle of value is usually not enough, but divergence at a meaningful structural extreme can matter. For example, NQ trades into the prior day low, price makes a slight new low, but CVD does not confirm with meaningful new selling. Then price reclaims the prior low and rotates back inside the prior range. Now the setup has structure. We have a failed auction, we have sellers unable to create acceptance lower, we have a reclaim, and CVD supports the idea that downside aggression is weakening. That is very different from blindly buying divergence. The structure creates the trade idea, and CVD improves the read. 4. CVD reveals trapped aggression. The fourth behavior is trapped aggression. This is one of the best uses of CVD. Imagine NQ pushes into a clean prior high. CVD surges higher. Breakout traders get long, but price cannot hold above the high. It stalls. Then it drops back below the breakout level. That is trapped buying. The buyers were aggressive, but they failed to create acceptance. Now their position is vulnerable. If price starts rotating lower, those longs may have to exit. That can accelerate the move back towards VWAP, POC, and the other lower side of value. The key is this. You are not fading strength just because CVD is high. You are waiting to see whether that strength creates acceptance. If it does not, the failed aggression becomes the edge. Okay, so here's a practical NQ scenario. Let's put this into practical NQ in an example. NQ is trading near the prior day high. The session has already pushed higher. CVD is elevated. Traders are excited. Price is now moving into a known liquidity area above the prior high. At this point, a disciplined trader does not simply buy because CVD is strong. The trader asks, is price accepting above the prior high? Is the breakout level holding? Is the retest clean? Is value beginning to migrate higher? Is VWAP supporting the move? Is there a logical target above, such as an overnight high, LVN, or week high? If yes, then a long may be valid. Invalidation could be a failed hold back below the prior high. Targets could be the next auction magnet. But if price sweeps the prior high, CVD spikes, and price drops back below the level, the read changes. Now aggressive buyers may be trapped. A short setup may develop if price confirms rejection. Invalidation could be back above the failed high. Targets could be VWAP, POC, or prior value high. Same CVD strength, two completely different trade plans. The difference is structure, acceptance, and confirmation. So here's some common mistakes. The first mistake is treating CVD as a directional truth. CVD shows aggression. It does not prove control. Control is proven by acceptance or rejection. The second mistake is using CVD in the middle of value. Inside value, price often rotates. Both sides participate. Aggression can flip back and forth without producing a clean opportunity. That is why mid-range CVD signals are often low quality. The third mistake is ignoring passive participants. CVD tracks aggressive buying and selling, but passive buyers and sellers matter too. Aggressive buyers are lifting offers and price is not moving higher. Someone may be absorbing that buying. That could be a major clue. The fourth mistake is entering before confirmation. Divergence does not matter until price confirms rejection or reclaim. Trapped aggression does not matter until price falls back through the level. Absorption does not matter until the market responds. Professionals do not trade the clue. They trade the clue after it aligns with structure and price confirms. Okay, so here's the professional checklist when trading with the CVD indicator. Before you use CVD in a trade decision, ask these questions. Where is price relative to value? Are we at VAH, VAL, POC, VWAP, prior high, prior low, an LVN, or another meaningful level? Is the market balanced or imbalanced? Is value migrating or rotating? Is CVD confirming acceptance? Is CVD failing to confirm the move? Is aggression being absorbed? Are traders getting trapped? Has price confirmed the read? Where is the entry? Where is structural invalidation? Where is the logical target? If you cannot answer those questions, the trade is not ready. That is the difference between using CVD professionally and using it emotionally. So where the trading on the edge fits in. This is one of the core ideas behind my book, Trading on the Edge. The book is not built around chasing indicators. It is built around reading the auction, understanding value, waiting for asymmetric locations, and using confirmation to make better execution decisions. CVD fits into that framework as one layer of evidence, not the whole model. The free content on this channel teaches individual pieces of the framework. The book gives you the complete operating model behind those pieces, including value, structure, execution, invalidation, and risk. It is designed as an affordable professional futures trading resource, not another expensive course promising shortcuts. And if you use the CVD Pro indicator, the book matters even more, because the tool is the only useful when it is used inside a real framework. That is why traders who purchase Trading on the Edge can receive the CVD Pro indicator at no cost. Get the book, send me a picture of you holding it, and I will email you the indicator. My email address is inside the book. Now the reason is simple. The indicator shows aggression. The framework teaches you whether that aggression truly matters. Okay, so here's the main takeaway. CVD tells you who is aggressive. Market structure tells you whether that aggression matters. If CVD rises at a meaningless location, it may be noise. If CVD rises into VAH and price accepts higher, it may confirm continuation. If CVD rises into VAH and price fails back into value, it may reveal trapped buyers. If CVD falls into VAL and price accepts lower, it may confirm downside continuation. If CVD falls into VAL and price reclaims value, it may reveal trapped sellers. The edge is not in the indicator. The edge is in the relationship between aggression, structure, acceptance, rejection, and risk. That is how CVD should be used. Not to predict, not to chase, but to confirm whether the auction is doing what it should be doing at the levels that truly matter. Now, if this video has helped, continue with the next video on the CVD divergence and failed auctions, because that is where this becomes even more practical. And if you want the complete Trading on the Edge framework behind these videos, use the book as the operating model alongside the free content. The goal is simple. Trade from structure, wait for confirmation, protect capital first, and only engage when the auction gives you a real edge. Please make sure you like and subscribe and hit that bell icon so you're notified when I post valuable videos like this one. Thank you. I'll see you in the next one.